Today, we're jumping into something everyone can relate to. Hobbies.
Yeah, how we talk about the things we love doing in our free time.
Exactly. And specifically, how to talk about them confidently in English. That's often a hurdle, isn't it?
It really can be.
Yeah.
So you're looking to get up to speed quickly, but also thoroughly. That's our goal here.
Right. And for this deep dive, our source is Day 11 of the Spoken English in 40 Days podcast.
We're basically mining that for the most practical bits, the vocabulary, the phrases, everything you need to discuss your hobbies like it's second nature.
Okay, let's dive in then. First things first, vocabulary. Building that base.
The source gives us some really solid starting phrases.
Things like, oh, I enjoy.
Interested in.
I like spending time doing something.
Oh, and one of my favorite hobbies is.
That's a good one.
And maybe in my free time, I usually.
These are like templates, frameworks you can just plug your hobby into.
They really are. They give you that immediate structure so you're not fumbling for words right at the start. Exactly. It makes it smoother.
And then what do you plug in? Well, the source lists some pretty common hobbies.
Yeah, the classics. Reading books, gardening,
swimming, watching movies.
playing guitar, cooking, drawing. What else? Hiking.
Right. Activities that, most people have heard of or can easily picture.
And the key is putting those two parts together, the phrase and the hobby. That's where you build the actual sentences.
It sounds simple, but it's effective. Like the examples they give. I enjoy reading mystery novels.
Or, I'm interested in learning new languages. That shows a specific interest.
Yeah, or one of my favorite hobbies is playing the guitar. Straightforward.
And it just sounds, natural, doesn't it? It flows.
It does. And practicing these patterns helps make them feel less like grammar rules and more like just talking.
Which is the whole point, really.
Okay, so we've got the building blocks. Now let's listen in on how this actually sounds in like a real conversation.
Right. The source includes a short dialogue. Two friends, John and Emily, chatting about their hobbies.
This part's useful because you hear the language in context.
Exactly. It's not just isolated phrases anymore.
So in this chat, John talks about playing football. Says he does it with friends on weekends.
And he adds why he likes it. Keeps him active, makes him happy.
That's a good point, adding the why. He also mentions he's played since school, calls it a passion.
Yeah, see, it's not just I play football. It's got a bit more depth. It tells you something about John.
And Emily, what about her?
She mentions painting and listening to music.
Okay. And her reason?
Relaxation. She says, it helps me relax. Simple, but effective.
So again, stating the hobby and adding that personal benefit.
Precisely. And notice the language they use. I love, I enjoy, it helps me.
Very accessible stuff. The source points out that these are patterns you can easily borrow.
Definitely. You don't need super complex sentences to talk about hobbies.
All right, so we've looked at words, phrases, seen an example. Now, it's your turn.
Yes, time for you, the listener, to actually try it out. Practice time.
This is crucial. Listening helps, but speaking is where the real progress happens.
Couldn't agree more. You have to activate the language.
Okay, so take a moment. Think about your favorite hobby. I'm going to ask a few questions, like in the source material. Try to answer them out loud, just a short pause after each one. Ready? What's your favorite hobby? Okay. Why do you like it, and how often do you do it? Last one. Who do you usually do it with? Or do you do it alone? Okay, hopefully you actually said something there.
Yeah, even if it felt a bit weird talking to yourself.
Yeah. But that's the practice, isn't it? The source stresses that speaking, even imperfectly, builds fluency.
Absolutely. It gets your mouth used to forming the words, your brain used to retrieving them. It all adds up.
Now, beyond the basics, the source gives some extra sort of smart strategies for talking about hobbies confidently.
Oh, bonus tips. Always good.
Tip 1. Use hobbies as icebreakers. When you meet someone new, ask about their hobbies. Share yours.
That's a great one. It's such a universal, generally safe topic to connect over. Finds common ground.
For sure. Tip 2. Prepare a little bit. Maybe have like 3 to 5 sentences about your main hobby ready to go. Memorize them if it helps.
Right, so if someone asks, you're not caught completely off guard. You have something prepared.
Yeah, it can really reduce that feeling of panic, Makes you feel more in control.
Good advice. Having a little script in your back pocket.
And the third tip, record yourself.
the dreaded recording.
Yeah, it can feel strange, but listening back to yourself talking about your hobby, it's super useful for catching pronunciation things you might miss otherwise.
It really is. It gives you that objective feedback. You can hear where you might sound hesitant or unclear.
And underpinning all of this, the source reminds us, aim for progress, not perfection.
That's so important. Fluency and confidence build over time. Don't get hung up on tiny mistakes.
Just keep speaking, keep practicing. That's the path forward.
Absolutely. Every conversation, every attempt is a step.
Okay, so let's wrap up this deep dive. We've covered quite a lot, actually.
We have started with the basic building blocks vocabulary, key phrases.
Saw how they work in a conversation example.
Got you involved with some direct practice questions.
And shared those practical tips for building confidence.
And tying back to that initial idea, getting knowledge efficiently. This focused approach works.
It does. You take practical language, you practice it actively, and you build that specific skill, talking about your interests.
It's a targeted way to improve your conversational English in a common, everyday area.
Definitely makes you feel more equipped for real-world chats, which actually makes me think.
What now?
Well, we talked about common hobbies. Reading, swimming, guitar. But what about the less common ones?
Like competitive cheese rolling or extreme ironing.
Maybe. Or just things like, I don't know, miniature painting or collecting vintage typewriters. What's the specific vocabulary for those?
That's interesting. How do you explain niche interests clearly? That could be a whole different exploration.
Maybe something for another deep dive.